Hey guys, it's me, Anna Cantella. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys 5 lessons that I learned from calisthenics that helped me out with my piano journey. Number 1, practice what you're bad at. Now, this may seem a little bit counterintuitive, seeing as how practicing what you're good at might give you, more enthusiasm or confidence, but really that's not how piano works or how any skill works. When you practice what you're good at, you're not going to be focusing on what you need to improve at. So, for example, let's say you have a section of a piece or a skill that you need to work on. If you only practice the parts of that piece or different skills that you're good at, well then you're not going to get better. And just because there's nothing to get better at. But if you only practice the things that you're bad at, then you're going to bring those parts of the piece up to par with the rest of the piece. Number 2, mind-muscle connection. This is one that you guys who are into fitness at all are going to have a bell rung in your head for. Mind-muscle connection in fitness is when doing a movement, let's say a push-up, you actively try to think about the parts of your body that are actually moving and applying the most force. So for a push-up, this would be your triceps and chest. This applies to piano in the sense that when you are practicing, hopefully something that you're not very good at, you will be practicing with the intent to mold it and to shape it in your brain the very best way that you can. So you wouldn't practice and go off thinking about how your summer vacation has gone or how school is going to go, though I know that can spark a lot of anxiety within people. Rather, you'd be thinking specifically about how your, fourth and fifth fingers are moving while you're trying to create, say, a finger trill with your fourth and fifth fingers, which, just for example, I still really suck at and need to work on. Number 3, different speeds of the repetitions that you use. So in calisthenics, there's something that is called speed repetition, or repetition. Number 3, different speeds of the repetitions that you do. In calisthenics, when you perform a repetition of a push-up or a pull-up or any body weight movement, you can always do them with different speeds depending on what you want to work on. So you could do, say, jumping squats, or you could do super slow squats. In the same way, with a piano, you don't want to practice your slow music really fast. This is actually a bit more applicable to super fast music. So you don't want to practice your fast music super fast all the time. Believe it or not, if you want to get better at playing fast passages, you should actually play them super slowly with mind-muscle connection and making sure that those fast passages are actually passages that you're kind of bad at playing. Number 4, supersets. For those of you who don't know, a superset in calisthenics is, or really fitness in general, is when you do a set of push-ups, but instead of doing 3 sets of push-ups in a row, you'll do a set of push-ups, a set of pull-ups, and however many exercises you have before finally looping back around to doing push-ups, pull-ups, etc. again. The reason this helps is because it will stop you from getting disillusioned while practicing the same thing over and over again. It is good to practice over and over again, but if you were to practice a hard passage 10 times as opposed to 100 times in a row, you're going to notice that after 10, 15, 20 times, you start losing focus. And a lack of focus is every pianist's deadliest killer. So a good idea might be to, if you have multiple sections of a piece that you're working on, to practice one section of a piece that you're not very good at playing, 10 times with, mind muscle connection and slowly. And then practice another section of the same piece that you're also bad at 10 times and slowly. And then go back and forth. This will keep your brain on its toes and make sure that you keep your focus about you. Number 5, go to failure. Now, this is something that's a little bit controversial in the fitness world, but I don't think it is, and here's why. When you go to failure, what that means is to do, in calisthenics, to do an exercise until you cannot execute the exercise with good form, or you just can't exercise it execute it at all anymore. The reason this is important in calisthenics is because when you go to failure on a set, that causes the most tears in your muscles, and that means that you will heal back the best. With piano, it's a little bit different, but mostly the same. When you're practicing a piece on piano, you want to practice until you start actually getting worse. Now, this is something that my teacher, his name is Dr. Wirtz, taught me, is that practicing is an act of faith, because if you practice correctly, you're going to find that at the end of your practicing session, you're actually going to sound worse than you started with. Now, this is actually a good thing, because just like with fitness, where you're going to feel weaker after a workout, hopefully, with piano, if you weaken yourself temporarily, you will heal back stronger the next day. So practice until you've gotten worse than you started with on that day. And if you have enough faith in yourself, or faith in your practice, the next day you'll find that you're significantly better than the first. It's very rare that I actually practice for an hour or two a day, and I find that my improv skills have actually gotten better for that day. Sometimes it's the next day where I feel significantly better, sometimes it's a week, sometimes it's even a whole month before I notice improvements. When you're first starting out, you'll notice that your improvements are super drastic, but if you've been doing this for a few years, sometimes it can take a while to actually notice anything. Lastly, as a sixth kind of bonus tip, I'm going to say that recovery is, it's the most important thing that you should worry about when playing piano. Here's why. I doubt that many of you who are watching this video are the kind of people to practice for 4 hours a day or more. If you are, then congratulations, you're a stronger person than I am. But for us mere mortals who practice from anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour to maybe a max of 2 hours a day, then this tip can actually still apply. Make sure that afterwards, after your practice session, you actually put in the time to relax, so that way your brain can absorb all the information that you just presented to it. Drink a lot of water, get 8 hours of consistent sleep, so that way your brain can actually sort out the information. And lastly, just eat some quality food. Those are some real fitness tips there, but still things that will really help you on your piano journey. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a nice day.